Welcome to PM Movie Recaps. Today's pick is a sci-fi and mystery of 2012, The Wall. If you're ready, let's enjoy the video. A woman is shown who remained by a calendar and began to record what she encountered in the recent years. However, since she has been alone for so long, she gradually loses track of how much memory in her head is real. Before the accident, the preoccupied woman gets warmly invited by Mr. and Mrs. Linda to a cabin in the woods, at the foot of the Alps. After arriving at 3 p.m., the old couple goes shopping for some supplies. They wanted to go back before the sky went dark. However, until the woman went to sleep that night, she didn't see the old couple return. The next day, the woman wakes up to find that the old couple left the dog named Lux, who has been digging up the door. Seeing this, she gets worried, and takes Lux towards the direction of the village. During her walk along the mountain road with Lux, she finds a transparent wall that doesn't seem to exist on the sunny mountain road. After seeing this, the woman wants to move forward, but the wall that she touched makes her confused. After repeatedly confirming that she could not leave, she decides to temporarily return to the hut. To her delight, she finds another inhabited hut on the halfway. She then wants to go ask for help, but she finds that she is still separated from the hut by a hidden barrier. Then, she sees that the couple in front of the house looks as if they are frozen, staying in a strange state of stillness. Seeing such an encounter makes the woman unsure what to do. In the company of her dog Lux, she returns to the mountain trail for confirmation. After finding that the hidden wall still exists, she returned to the cabin in the woods. With doubt and helplessness, she sees a nightmare of being trapped in the cabin by the hidden wall. Now, in order to find out the scope of the hidden wall, the woman begins to drive on the mountain road. On the way, she sees a Jeep abandoned on the side of the road. As she drives towards the car with excitement, she hits the hidden wall as she doesn't slow down. The impact caused her a head injury. Now, in a trance, once again she gets swallowed by the emotion of despair. After that, in order to escape the fear brought by the hidden wall, the woman has been trying to numb herself with work for the past 10 days. After experiencing conflicts and struggles, the woman eventually decides to live for the dog Lux and the cow Bella. As Mr. and Mrs. Linda prepare enough food in the hut, the woman starts planting and works for her future survival. In the meantime, she finds a kitten in the rain. Now, with the company of these small animals, the woman begins to have spiritual support. Now during hunting, her first attempt to hunt fails as she does not know how to use a gun, and she gets knocked on the head by the recoil. But she does not get discouraged. After that, she follows the dog to the crashed car. Meanwhile, she finds a map in the car, which leads her to a hunting lodge located higher up. After a night of trekking, the woman sees a lumber truck in the woods, and not surprisingly, she is still separated from the lumber truck by a hidden wall. Now, after arriving at the hunting lodge in the mountain, the woman generally understands the situation around. As far as the eye can see, there seems to be no trace of anyone alive. After packing up the available things in the hut, the woman rests for a while under the warm sunlight. When she wakes up again, it is already late, and she can only return to the old couple's hut before dark. It is not long before the woman has begun to write. Through writing, she can not only record her life in the hidden wall, but also tries to relieve her depression. Besides, her hunting skills are also improving, and she is able to catch the prey in the woods as well. The kitten she took in at first, gives birth to a pure white cub, to which the woman named the new life Pearl. Now, after the birth of Pearl, the woman realizes that she must be responsible for these forests, which brings her hope. She begins to work hard and cultivate more crops and lands. In addition to the fatigue and pain caused by the work, the existence of the hidden wall also lets the woman fall into deep sadness. Fortunately, with the desire for life and the love for these small animals, the woman becomes strong again. She stocks up on more supplies and more abundant ingredients. However, there's no one she can communicate with. This unresolved anguish is soon diluted by the optimism and simplicity of the dog Lux. But after some time, a life in the woods is not as peaceful as the woman has expected, because the winter ends and the hot summer brings more worries. The nightly remembrance of the sound of deer, and the death of the kitten makes the woman's nights even more difficult. With winter coming again, the woman rethinks about the meaning of life in the snowy sky, and such thinking changes her perspective on life. The belly of the cow Bella gradually becomes bigger. It makes the woman feel hope again, but unfortunately, the woman who hunted in the cold, becomes ill in the winter days, and once again falls into boredom and helplessness. But soon, to the woman's relief, Bella gives birth to a young bull, and this rotation of life makes the woman more dependent on the presence of the dog Lux. As the season changed, the woman packs up some of her belongings and brings her companions to the summer pasture. In this wonderful place, the woman feels the joy that nature brings to her again. Also, the life of a dog, a cat, and 2 cows allows her to immerse herself in this pleasant time. The unpolluted paradise, the bright starry sky, and the time that seems to stop all, let the woman feel a sense of peace and happiness. Therefore, she stops her daily writing, allowing herself to sink into living with this world. However, this kind of life didn't stop the change from coming. As she moved back from the summer pasture, she began to keep the diary regularly again. She finds that her memory could not correspond to her previous records. The woman gradually lost track of the changes in time, as she lived day after day and worked year after year. Then, she suddenly finds a flock of crows on the tree, outside the house. Among these crows, a white crow appears, so out of place, the woman seems to feel some kind of resonance of life. She begins to use her own food waste to help the little guy, who was rejected by his peers, and enables him to survive the winter. This tacit understanding and the tranquility of life let her ignore the existence of the hidden wall. However, the quiet and peaceful life is soon broken by an intruder, as the bull, which was already an adult, is assassinated, and Lux also falls in a pool of blood, under the man's frenzied attack. Because she hadn't seen any humans for a long time, so by the time the woman takes up her weapon, she shoots the intruder dead. Lux is no longer alive. Now, after carrying Lux to the top of the hill for burial, the woman rolls the man's body down the slope. In addition, she also pacifies the restless Bella, and the loss of Lux not only makes the woman's life lose a certain joy and passion, but her soul also seems to be missing, causing her to fall into depression. After a long period of pain, the woman finally regains her composure, as she chooses to continue facing the future life bravely. However, with all the paper being used up, the woman can no longer record her life. In the end, the sky is still bright, and she only has a carefree cat in front of her in the silence of the loss of Lux. Although the bull Pearl and Lux had left her, once she sees the group of crows circling outside the house, the woman knows that the white crow that had long been familiar with her, would continue to wait for her under the tree. Thank you for watching, but before leaving, please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.